Hi guys, this video is to show you my take on a generic crit physical damage bow in the 1.2.0 patch for the new Beyond League in Path of Exile. I killed Abaxoth, the final boss of Beyond the Beyond League with this character, and various people PM me on the forums to know what was your build because they want to complete the Beyond challenge. And I just thought, why not just making a quick video about that. What is this build? It's not something crazy original. I don't claim to invent something or make something mind-blowing. It's just for me a typical crit ranger, but in the 1.2.0 patch, since the passive tree changed a lot with this new patch. I leveled up with Tornado Shot, the new bow skill, but I ended up playing with Split Arrow Chain. For me, Split Arrow Chain is still better. Many people play with Tornado Shot, and famous people too, like Ziggy, and so maybe some people will tell me, but Tornado Shot seems better and all that. I tested both in high level maps. I just feel Crit Split Chain is better, is still better than Tornado Shot. Tornado Shot, however, is more than a decent skill. It's 100% viable. If you want to play a Tornado Shot build, go for it. It's really good too. But yeah, just to compare with Ziggy build, for example, he has like 10 exalts worth of gear, and his ranger is just doing averagely good. And I think my ranger is doing better, and I didn't spend 10 exalt worth of gear. He didn't spend 10 exalts, but he has 10 exalt worth of gear, like lightning coil, 5 link. He has a drill neck and all that. And I think for the investment, the output in terms of DPS and all that is not that great. So chain split for me. The build fundamentals are: you play crit physical, you full evasion, you take Under's Guile, acrobatics and phase acrobatics as keystones on the passive tree, you use power charges, you have no unique required for to build to work, and you have the specific weaknesses, of course, of evasion characters such as Evangelist and all that. For the build, the endgame build, at level 86, it will look like this with this final DPS nodes on here. Of course, it's just my opinion. You can make some variations. The stats of this build at level 86 are you have 170% increased max life, 196 increased evasion, 40% chance to dodge attacks with these nodes, acrobatics plus the additional here, 30% chance to dodge spells damage with phase acrobatics. You have double chance to evade projectile attacks with Under's Guide, and 80% increase effect of life flask here. Here is for the major defensive stats, so to speak. Offensive wise, you have 5 power charges, 1 additional here and 1 from Alira. 201% increased physical damage with bows, that includes generic physical damage. 61 increased attack speed, bows plus generic attack speed. 42% increased crit chance, 106% crit multiplier, and you knock back enemies on crit with King of the Ear. For softcore version of this build, I don't really know how to what would be the best, but I will suggest not going here for the Scion Wheel because you will need less life. Just go here from a crit attack speed, a bit of life here too, maybe physical damage, I don't know. Just grab yourself more deeps and go for less life, I would say. So pretty simple. For the leveling process, I would suggest you to take Mind Drinker here for the mana leech to sustain mana, as long as you don't have mana leech on your gear. I have mana leech on my gear, but and you have to try to get mana leech on your gear so you can save 3 points here. But until then, take Mind Drinker. Respect that later. For the mana in general, I just took Prima Spirit at the beginning. I respect that later, and I I had a crazy garbage amulet with 1% mana leech that I kept until I had mana leech on my other pieces, on my rings. So it was it for me. I didn't have any struggle for mana, and that's pretty important to underline, because before that patch, bow character always had mana issues. No, I have, I think, let me check. Yeah, that's it. I have 90 unreserved mana, and I'm doing very great. So I have no problem with mana at all. So um, for the leveling process too, what order do you have to go from that area to that area? It's pretty simple. For me, I think the best is you go ranger area until you take acrobatics. Then you go for the scion part with the wheel and that, and then you go for the shadow for fire life nodes and create power charges, etc. You take DPS at the beginning too, because in the ranger area there are DPS nodes. You take the good life to be sure to not die around cruel merciless, and to be sure that you will have enough life to enter maps as soon as you can, and you take the final dips in the end. So it's pretty simple. For the leveling process too, gear speaking, now the good thing is that you can level as a crit bow ranger from the start. So before that patch, you will go crit just for endgame. Now that bows receive new implicits and buffs too. The death bow and the decimation bow, so level 32 and level 53 bows now have crit implicit. So you go crit all the way. You can craft yourself decent bows along the way with Torah, but if you have a bit of currency to spend, I would suggest to buy Death Harp for level 32. It's like 1 chaos, and at level 53 you buy yourself an Ifractem, which is the unique decimation bow, and until level 68, and at level 68 you use an Harbinger bow. For the bandits, it's you help Oak for the life. You take the passive. You can take the attack speed, but I just took the passive. I think the attack speed is not worth it in that build. And I helped Aliwa in Mercedes for the power charge. So that's pretty much it for the leveling process. The gem setup. And after that, I will show you the gear, so you will see it already now. But the gem setup, you go split arrow, physical projectile damage, chain, and faster attacks for the falling. I started mapping with a falling until like level 80, and it was very decent. For the fifth link, you go increase crit damage. I ended up being lucky 6 linking. That's averagely good crafted Arbin Jumbo, and so I have power charge on crit, but you don't need a 6 link to play this build. You don't need even a 5 link to play this build. A 4 link is already very decent, and the 6th link is just power charge on crit, which is a quality of life bonus. But now with the curse Assassin's Mark, you can get your power charges through the curse. It will not be up all the time, because the mechanic is that slain curse enemies have a chance to give you a power charge, and with power charge on crit, every time you crit you have a chance to get a power charge. So power charge on crit is a good quality of life bonus, but it's not mandatory at all now for crit builds, now that we have Assassin's Mark. So don't go crazy on me saying, you have 6 link, of course your build, you think your build is better than this one and this one, but the power charge on crit is just a quality of life bonus. So gem setups, as I told you, split arrow, chain, fizz, faster attacks, increase crit damage for 5 and power charge on crit for 6. The single target, which is very good, is puncture. With puncture, with physical projectile attack damage, increased crit damage, added fire for as falling. So these 3 supports is straight up direct DPS boots, not like faster attacks, or it just boosts your the hit of the arrow, and it's very important as puncture. The bleed effect of puncture is based on the initial hit, of the arrow, and puncture is really good against moving target, which is almost every target, and especially the exiles. The rogue exiles are most of them are going crazy on you. They're running on you like on crack madman, and you shoot puncture and you watch him die. You will one shot exile with puncture. You will one shot bosses with puncture. It's crazy good. Forget frenzy, guys. Forget frenzy. Go puncture. Uh, the cast one damage taken is simple. Cast one damage taken during cry, immortal cool, increased duration. For the four red setup, go with armor evasion hybrid. I had one before that. I ended up being lucky of coloring that gloves, but just grab yourself a hybrid armor evasion, so you won't have to spend a crazy amount of chromatics for of colors. The auras are reduced mana, hatred, herald of ice, and herald of ice. For 100% safety, just go grace and hatred, but I feel I don't need grace. I have already almost 9,000. I have 9,000 evasion, so I don't feel the need to get grace. But for 100% safety, go grace and hatred. Um, and for the utilities, decoy totem and assassin smart. Um, for the gear now, what type of gear you're looking for? For the weapon, you use an Harbinger bow. It's very simple now to craft yourself a decent Harbinger bow, like I did with this one. You get an Harbinger bow with a decent flat physical damage mod, and you craft increased phys damage with Torah here. You can go to 79. I ended up being a bit unlucky with this one, but still it's a 240 physical DPS bow, and you can go to easily to get on around 250 physical DPS Harbinger bow just with crafting and getting you a decent base. This bow, just the stats, not the link of course, cost me 5 chaos total, so it's very good. Before that patch, 250 physical DPS Harbinger bow will cost you an arm and a leg already, and it was just decent. So now you can have a pretty decent weapon for almost nothing. So just grab yourself an Harbinger bow, physical damage, attack speed, increase crit chance, all that good stuff. For armor pieces in general, of course, it's life, evasion, and resist. Try to keep an open slot on your gloves for life leech if you don't have a life leech on your amulet. So you have 2% on the tree here with blood drinker, and you have 2% on your gloves. It's 4%. It's more than enough, I think. For the belt, you go with a Ristic Jack for the deeps. I ended up crafting this one. For the rings plus amulet, the good stats are life, crit, mana leech, physical damage, resist, accuracy, and the quiver. Get a spike point arrow quiver for the crit implicit with life, crit chance, crit multiplier, physical damage, accuracy, all the good stuff. So now I'll just tell you how much I paid for the gear, so if you are afraid it would cost me a crazy amount of currency. As I told you, 5 chaos for the for the bow. You can start mapping with a 4 link, and the 5 link is already crazy good. As I said, for charge on crit is just a quality of 5 bonus of 5 thief just for the bow. I found that helmet, and I crafted lightning resist, so it cost me just the craft. I found that that chest, and I crafted resist on it. I found these 2 rings. This one is pretty good. I think I can craft a resist on it, resist life on it. So 2% mana leech on each. I think you just need 2% on one of your 2 rings, and it will be enough. It's just that I found these 2 with mana leech on them, so of course, yeah, I'm using them. I bought this amulet for it's garbage, but it's doing the work, so yeah, no problem. I don't know how many kills, but maybe 2, 3, I don't know, something like that. I bought this pretty good quiver for 20 chaos, and it's worth, in my opinion, much more, like between 1 and 2 exarts easily, but you can get a pretty decent quiver with crit and crit multiplier and life for way less than that, like just like, because I have a it has accuracy, very good life roll, and it had that open slot for elemental damage with weapons. That's why it was a bit expensive, but you don't have to spend 20 chaos on a quiver. These boots, I found them and crafted movement speed thanks to Tora. So nowadays you found a lot of boots that you would vendor beforehand because it had no life or it had no movement speed. Now when you have boots like that, you can craft the missing stat on it. So you can play self-found very easily now with the masters. And the gloves, I bought it. I don't know how much it was, but it was not crazy expensive. It's not crazy good. It's just for the attack speed. In fact, that I bought these gloves. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So in total I spent almost no currency for the gear. So it's very important to know that you will not starve by making this this build. I will just show you a bit of gameplay here. Yeah, one last thing for the mana. For the build, I thought that first of all that before I made the build, I thought that I would have to go for the reduced mana reserve nodes here. I ended up not taking them because I don't need them, because now with the less mana cost and of both skills and the mana leech, I can end up with a pretty little unreserved mana pool, but it will refill all the time. So you don't need these nodes as a crit bow ranger. It will save you a good amount of points. So yeah, that was a little late precision about the build. I will just show you gameplay in the docks. So no, of course I'm not here to show you. Look at that dips. I'm watching everything. Of course it's the dogs, but maybe also just to show you the with the unique boss on the map. How good puncture can be against moving target as it's the cycloning fire dogs. I will also show you my DPS stats with power charges up. Nothing too crazy, but it's decent. So 6002 and I still have to get that node and 14,000 puncture. So yeah, the gameplay is quite easy. You just shoot, it refill your mana, you spawn beyond mobs, you freeze everything with your crit. I hope I will see the fire dogs or an exile, even better. So as you can see, and I have no struggle with mana at all. It's refilling pretty easily. The only time when we will have struggle with mana, it's when you don't hit anything. So because you, of course, you will not leech, but when there is no mobs, there is no need to shoot. So yeah, that doesn't really apply. That's not a real problem. The fact that you can't shoot in the air with nothing, that's not really a problem. Yeah, as you can see, even though my movement speed on my boots is not that high, it's like 12% thanks to Tora. My ranger is moving pretty quickly. It's because you have movement speed passives hybrid now on around the ranger area. It's very good. It's very nice. Here is the Battlefront. Adore. Gems. Where is the boss? I think it will be there. I try to take him alone, not chaining or whatever. Here he is. I try to puncture him, to crit him with puncture. I crit him. Oh, he's moving, I think. Yes, yeah. So you see, as soon as they are moving, you just one-shot them. You will one-shot Exile with Puncture. It's very good. You will one-shot bosses with Puncture too. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope I was able to help you a bit, and thanks for watching, guys.